Good evening, everyone. Give me 1 second while I share some links. And we'll get this show on the road. Like I said, I got a few things I'll talk about tonight, especially with upcoming events that are coming up. I think it might be important that we discuss them. And I might try, if it'll work, no guarantees here, but I might try running a Hangout live call-in. Let's see. Works, if it works. I've had some issues in the past with the Uber conference. But won't know until we try it. Looks like everything's coming in. Let me see if I can't get my conference connected. Oh, like I said, I've had some issues with this, not wanting to work right. Alright, looks like that part's connected, so we'll see if it works. Showing it's working, we'll find out. Anybody like to join me can join me through the conference call, and we'll see what happens. I'm already seeing I'm having issues. This thing not wanting to share right. Try this again. So, what I want to discuss today, we have the upcoming anti-Sharia law march, which is kind of cool. I'm all for that. I'm all for peaceful protest. But, we seem to have a lot of other things. We're going to have Antifa starting to show up. Well, we know every time they show up somewhere, it's just nothing but they want to cause violence and disturbance. Why would Antifa want to show up for an event like that? Beats the hell out of me, but I said dealing with Antifa, they didn't even bother showing up for Bilderberg, and that's supposedly what they stand against. But to do with that, they wanted to go protest in Portland, which was by far, I think, one of the worst protests we've seen. And I don't know what the hell's going on. It just don't want to screen share or nothing. Try this one more time. It doesn't look like it's going to work. I'll just say screw it. Then we seem to have Black Lives Matter starting and stuff. There's a lot of hate white people talking about them screaming about they want to segregate white people. You know, we've all seen it. I've discussed a few things about the divisions and stuff we've been having. Me personally, I think it's a ploy. Trying to get something to pop off. It just seems like that's all they're trying to do. They want us to be just like some of these other countries in complete civil unrest. And I know a lot of people, are starting to kind of see that. But on the same token, I mean, yesterday it was all stuff about Black Lives Matter, calling white people racist, white privilege, Sean Hannity report. I mean, people are getting tired of it. Now, I'm getting tired of seeing it in my feeds. Are we back live? Surprising. That's the other shit that's starting to piss me off. Anytime I go to talk about certain subjects, it seems my computer just wants to, all of a sudden, everything Google, YouTube related wants to crash. And I can assure you it's not my internet. Got that fixed today. And I've been on it all day since it's been fixed. Multiple windows open, not even having an issue. Which means I probably lost my, nope, still on the conference. So, double check. This is one of the drawbacks when you do these streams by yourself. You don't have other people in here. If you get kicked, you got a chance to lose the stream completely. And it's happened a few times. But, like I said, that's something that shit's pissing me off with the Black Lives Matter shit. Want to call us racist? Grow up. First off, let's get the record straight. We didn't put you on goddamn boats and ship you here to the United States. Your own people did. Your own. Most people don't even care about race. Ain't even racist when it comes to that. We all bleed the same. I'm tired of hearing it. Let's look at what you ought to look at, who's supporting your, funding you and busting you places. Because I'll tell you right now, the people that are some racist fucks, for real. And they don't care about you. But that goes back to what I said. You've got to be willing to do research and believing everything you said. 2 weeks ago our college had to shut down? That's ridiculous. We don't live in you guys bitch, fuck. You got civil rights movement, can end segregation, get this so you're treated equally. Now you want to repeat history, only try to make it segregate whites and stuff? Fuck you. We got more important issues, states, than to deal with a bunch of crybabies. We've got Sharia law being taught in schools. Fucks in Dearborn, Michigan, preaching hate, recruiting people, and nobody's doing jack about it. But yet, I want to come on here, spread some truth, spread my views and opinions. I get censored. This radical fucking Dearborn, Michigan can upload, do live streams, and not even be messed with. I'm beginning to feel like a second-class citizen. And I'm no second-class citizen. Here's my thing. Everybody should be crying out, arrest that cocksucker in Dearborn, Michigan. Why isn't London Interpol demanding the United States arrest him and turn him over for inciting violence? 8. Radicalizing. Sharia law has no place in this country or any country. Let's get that straight. And to you Antifa fucks who wants to go cause trouble at these coming up rallies on Saturday, here's my opinion on you. You guys all should be treated as homeland terrorists. How many, there's video evidence, a upon video evidence and pictures of them bringing weapons to the Portland rally, free speech rally, mind you. So, I'm all for free speech, guys. I might not agree with things, just because there seems to be a pattern here. It seems to be any event that gets started, they want to end in violence. When we start looking back at some of these laws that have been put in effect, like the Patriot Act, we want to call our vets, when they return, soldiers return home, vets we want to accuse watch list. They shouldn't be. They serve our country, they protect our freedoms. They should never be treated like that. There seems to be more laws keep going in effect. They want to censor the internet. They want to keep us seem like always distracted. Nobody's asking why. Everybody's just following the status quo. Oh, let's go protest. Yeah, let's go protest. Let's support our constitutional right. You got to wear a mask to protest? That only tells me one thing. You're there to cause trouble. You're there to commit a criminal act. You can't show your face in a peaceful protest. You have no business being at a rally to protest. I know some people are going to say, well, but that's our right. Well, yeah, it is your right. But now let's take that right and look how it's being misused. I understand that you might work someplace that you don't want your face seen publicly. That's understandable. But it comes to a point where if you're dressing up in all black, covering your face, you need to be moved. You need not to be there. It seems like they've used certain events to test these little programs and ideas out on society. Right now we live in a country that's so divided it's not even funny. Get along with nobody. You got a different view with somebody, you're instantly labeled in one of the categories. You're treated like dirt, even though you're supporting what they want to support in this very same thing. I don't hear hardly anybody talking about what's going on in San Diego with that school where Sharia law is being taught at school under the guise of a bullying act. That's how they're trying to get it off. Sponsored by CARE. And if you look, we just have to take a step back maybe for a little bit before we even go these things. Let's look what's going on here. There's chaos and division in almost every country. People in the UK is living in fear. They have a Muslim mayor who all he's done his whole career as an attorney is defend radical terrorists. I want to know why you guys even elected him. Come to find, and how do you knew before these attacks were going to happen? Why are you letting these fuckers in your country? If you know they're known terrorists, if you know they've preached hate, remove them. round them all up and ship them back where they came from. Now, I am happy to see a few more countries stepping up and closing their borders. But, you still have people saying, oh, that's unfair, that's not right. You're discriminating. No, national security. We're protecting our country, we're protecting the people in our country. I ended up having to remove 2 people on Facebook earlier this week. Well, one, like I said, this hit close to home. My niece. Right there when that shit happened in the UK. She couldn't find, she ran, tried to get shelter in the stores and businesses. They all had shut the door, wasn't letting anybody in. She made it to the subway. There was no subways running. The subway was empty. Tried to call Uber to get a taxi. No taxi would come out and pick them up. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's like you guys want these things to keep happening. Well, me personally, I think, they keep saying we're at war. We're at war with terrorists. Well, last time I checked, last time we was in a war with someone, we weren't allowing people into our country, and the ones that were in our country, we just put them in camps, internment camps, until the war was over. I'm not all for that, but those have been the status quo up until this. Then you got, real quick and get that out the way. We've got the mayor of New York, or the governor of New York, in California, passing legislation and laws saying we're going to continue with the status quo on climate change. Well, I don't live in that state. We never live in that state. I wouldn't live in any state that sponsors sanctuary cities to begin with. I mean, hello. All we gotta do is look what's happening around the world. All we gotta do is look at what's happening in Michigan and Dearborn, and California and San Diego. Even here in Ohio, they're trying to teach Islamic history and stuff to our kids. That has no place being taught in our kids' schools. They should be learning about the Constitution, the legislative branches, the judicial branches. They should be learning our history. Just like in another country, you should be learning their history. The other thing that's pissing me off, motherfucker, oh, can't fly we don't want to see the flag in our United States flag in our colleges here because people find it offensive. Well, you find it offensive, go back to the goddamn country you came from. That's our flag. We take pride in it. If you can't take pride in it, get the fuck out. Because, when we go to other countries, we're expected to adhere and abide by those countries' laws. If we would say, oh, your flag offends us, they're going to say, fuck you, get out of here. In fact, they might lock us up and ship us out or keep us detained for a while. You guys are becoming so caught up in this little status quo that we got to be pitted against each other. Oh, that's offensive. The one person I removed from my Facebook account, you know what it was over? It shared a link from Twitter about, if you don't like our laws, our freedoms, go back to your country. She had the balls to say, right after I had posted, next person I see, comment, and anything like that, I'm removing. I had the balls. That don't happen in my country, maybe in your country. I live in the United States just like you. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to argue. I'm just going to remove you. If you're that dumb, brainwashed, can't get over the fact that fucking Trump won the election, go fuck yourself. Don't need you in my friends list. Just a hypocrite. I'm a bigot. See, those words work. Goes two ways too. But you know, me be called, somebody called, had the balls to call, not even the balls, the audacity to call me a racist. Yeah, well, it can never be in the sense that they're trying to say it. Why? Because I'm mixed. Would never be accepted in any of the white supremacist groups just because of that fact. Do I agree with their ideologies and views? No. Because it's just another form of hate. Maybe that's what they need to do. Start treating all these people that are preaching hate against a color, call it what it is. It's terrorism. Because it's a form of hate. Maybe people are waking up and stop using it. Or because on complexion looks white, or nigger. But yet a black person can say nigger all he wants. Well, as long as you can say it, I can say it. If it offends you, oh well. And if you find it so offensive, common sense. If not, you're just nothing more than a hypocrite. Trying to push your hate on other people. When the fact is, you're not oppressed. You ain't slaves. Well, we're all slaves. Let's rephrase that, you know. We're all slaves to the system. We all believe the same. We shouldn't even be discussing race in this day and age. Having to discuss. And I'm froze up again. Gotta love how they just want to screw with the stream. But no, there's no reason we should even be discussing race. Race shouldn't even be an issue. But it seems some people can't get over the fact that you guys have been tricked and duped to believe in something. You know? And here's the other part that kills me. With all this rhetoric that's going around with this racism and shit, we got white people that are marching beside Black Lives Matter, talking about white privilege. There ain't no such thing as privilege, just like there's no such thing. You want to be truthful, there's more black privilege than there's white privilege. They treat you as a minority, therefore you get put ahead of a white person. So, where's the equality in that? And that's a fact. I know, because I've been overpassed when I was going to college because I wasn't a minority. I wasn't black. So therefore, I had to fork over my own money, even though my parents didn't make enough for me to afford to put me in college. I didn't make enough to afford to put myself in college. But you don't hear me crying and complaining about that. No. I fucking manned up, worked my ass off, and paid for my fucking tuition. You know. Then I had one person on fucking here on Twitter. A white person, mind you, called me racist, Islamophobist, and a racist. I didn't support Black Lives Matter. Oh, fuck you. All lives matter. I'm not going to support an ideology that preaches hate, preaches segregation. I mean, you guys just don't see the logic? I mean, and worse, I don't know how we've got all these brainwashed folks out there to begin with. What are you smoking? Or better of fact, what are you drinking? I mean, put the Kool-Aid down. Obviously, it's tainted. Because it's not the world that I see. What I see, trying their damnedest to survive and make it in this world today. What I see is a bunch of division that shouldn't even be there if you use common sense. You know, I've got plenty of friends that are black, Mexican, Hispanic. Ain't none of them cry about racism or talk about white privilege or black privilege. They're all busting their ass to make a living every day just like me. We all struggle. I don't hear them crying about it either, but I do hear them bitching about the fact that you guys are trying to stir up shit when there's more important issues at hand. You know, just like we got Congress. All they want to do is to do their job, we the people for the people. No, it's not we the people for the people. They just want anything and everything. Investigation after committee. But they keep saying there's nothing there. Just an excuse not to do what we want, what we put them in there to do. Get rid of Obamacare. Cut our taxes. Bring jobs back to this country. Put a fucking travel ban against these countries that support radical terrorism. People that are forcing these people and causing refugee problems to flood all these other countries. You know, like I said Sunday on my Facebook, you know, I did live stream there. Really, people are just not gonna get the point until something happens to somebody they love or care about. Then they're gonna fucking wake up, and by then, you know, it's already too late. They've already screwed the pooch. You know, talking about racism in this day of it, man, you guys that stupid? You know, just like our history is being rewritten. But nobody's crying about that other than, oh, it needs to be rewritten. It puts a blemish on what America is today. You know what America is today? Same thing it was back when the Constitution was formed and drafted and signed. This United States stands for. That's where your freedoms come from. You know, I'm all for it. If I see an injustice or something or inequality, I'll stand right beside you and fight for it in a peaceful manner. This is what they want. They want us to do something stupid. They want something to put in such a scale where they got to bring in the National Guard and lock everything down and strip all of us of our rights. And I tell you what, the first time something like that or anything that's been happening in any other country happens here in the United States, and you were bucking the system out there, being violent, causing protest, screaming Black Lives Matter, or not supporting a travel ban, that's in common. Because you turned your back on everything, and on every soldier that's bled and died, and that is currently serving. You've turned your back on them. So don't come crying when something happens. I don't want to hear it. I'm just going to walk away. Or I'm going to laugh in your face and tell you, well, that's what you wanted, so enjoy. There's just too many other issues out there that we need to be dealing with. What we don't need, what we don't need to be so divided, to be bringing racism up. But apparently that's what you guys want to do. You guys have been tricked. Something that's not even there. Is there issues? Oh yeah, there's issues. There's issues that can only be fixed if we start removing these people that are under government, quit voting them in, like in Chicago, California, New York, especially in Chicago. I do agree. There is an issue there. It has nothing to do with whites. It's black on black. It's people. It's your politicians and governors and mayors in Chicago is basically the same. But yet you're leading the country in the murder rate per capita? Yeah, there's something very wrong there. We need to get into these communities, Mexican communities, low-end communities, because there's even whites that live there, and start building these community hubs there. But yet, your governors and mayors don't want that. Why? Because you're a billion-dollar asset. Why? Because more likely you're going to end up in jail, into the system, in prison, and they're going to get paid for it. That's what they want. I used to bust the misconception this ain't the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and early 80s. Majority of prisons isn't white. It is black, then Mexican, then white and Asian. Yeah. And it should. No one color should outsurpass the other in a prison system. In fact, our prison system shouldn't be as full as they are now. You know what needs to happen? For real? This is what Trump needs to do. These states that keep wanting to buck the system, wants to federal legislation, federal laws. Send the feds in, handcuff them, and arrest them. You know, like I said, this weekend's going to be interesting to see what happens. I really don't want no part of it, just because I see it building. It's been building all year, from one rally to the next, one protest to the next. Starting to throw racism in. It's just a powder keg waiting to explode. And I think people need to step back, kind of look at, how do we get to this point? What the hell happened? And I mean, I think if you start looking back, start seeing how things are put in motion, those very same patterns that a bunch of us are starting to have seen to happen this way. They want it to happen. Just, somebody did an interesting video on Bitcoin. I don't talk about cryptocurrencies, but she brought up some interesting points. And far that goes, it was Lauren Southern. Go, I mean, you guys go find the video. She's on YouTube. You know where to find her. But it made me think. It made me think about other things. Well, let's look at this. Oil, our dollar, our currency, most every other country's currency by gold. Well, we got away from the gold and we went to petrol. Now our dollars and currencies are backed by petrol. Well, really working out anymore. So why not? Let's do a social experiment. Let's try Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin's been around for a little while. But, okay, but on the same token, now let's look what else came into effect. Now, most people go to the store, buy something. They don't use currency. Their bank card. How many people write out checks? No. Everything's done electronically, for the most part. Which, in a sense, is another form of cryptocurrency. Because the bank wants to charge you to use your own money. There's a good one. Instead of you putting it in the bank to protect your money, to allow it to grow interest, pay for every checking account you have, savings account you have, no more, you're paying more out. Every time you swipe that card, just like using a credit card. So in a sense, they've been doing a social experiment to the new system. That it will be a one world currency, whether you want to believe it or not. I mean, they've been doing the social experiment. They've already got you hooked on using your cell phone just to scan something. Oh, it connects right to your banking account, pays for it right there, don't even need a card. Same principle as a Bitcoin. Except for a Bitcoin, you know, nobody knows who created it, but there's only so much. So, you know, it's not backed by, nobody knows. Obviously a currency, but a currency of what? Intellectual property on the internet could be considered a currency. Because you have internet providers, internet companies, you have that buy into a system. Basically, video is not advertiser friendly. You need to remove it. So now you're being pushed off these platforms. Or you're just not going to make money off these platforms. It's a joke anyway. None of my videos, it's not even in my descriptions, these videos, they're never going to be from here on out on YouTube. But on the same token, it's in my description, so don't be put ads on my description in my videos. If I can't monetize off of them, neither can you. and I'll make sure I just say things to where you want. I mean, you're already censoring me. I can't have freedom of speech. And that's the other thing. We need to put an end to corporate. If you want a business in the United States, Facebook is a business, YouTube is a business, Amazon is a business. They're all corporate. Run a business, offer a service in this country, you should be bound by our Constitution and laws. And you should have to be held up to them to where you have to treat and honor our constitutional rights, our freedoms, and our liberties. But because you're labeled as a corporation, that's how you get away from it. It should be like that in every country. But that also means, as long as I'm not committing a criminal act in this country, as long as I'm not preaching hate, violence, charge me, like has happened over in Europe. On a person being criminally charged because he liked something, just because he hit the like button. No. Just like I stated previously, I don't know. Why isn't Britain and Interpol demanding that this fuck here in Dearborn, Michigan be arrested and extradited or charged here in this country? Terrorism. So for all you that want to protest come Saturday, there's something for you to protest about. Be arrested. And anybody else. I swear this is getting ridiculous. Every time I go to hit on certain subjects, you guys should be protesting, and you're going to protest anti-Sharia law. Start demanding that these people in our country that are spreading this hate, telling people to go out and do these things, be charged criminally as a terrorist and arrested. Demand that YouTube take their channels down. Because it's them that's punishing. There's a reason we're getting punished. And we're not even doing the shit they're doing. We're trying to do regular videos, bringing you truth, wisdom, sharing our experiences, whether it be gaming or whatever. If you want to support some peaceful protests, yes. If you want to protest, yes, please do. That's your right. That's a constitutional right. Do it in a nonviolent way. And that's the other thing. It needs to stop. Violent protesters should not be the ones being arrested. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, when they're out there just preaching hate and violence and acting on it, they should be arrested and charged appropriately. Because I tell you what, let's get one thing straight. Sharia law is not a religion. It is an ideology and philosophy. Not even a philosophy, it's an ideology and political agenda that has no place in our schools, no place in this country or in any country. When you're promoting nothing but hate, killing other people because they do not follow your God. Yeah. But I don't hear too many people talking about all the imams in Britain that refuse to give burial rights to those 3 terrorists that were shot and killed. They need to start standing up against that they keep wanting to say we are peaceful. Actions speak louder than words. And no, we're not going to give you burial rights. We condemn what you did. That is a start. But you got to do more. You've got to do more. Because here's my thought. When you come to this country here, in the United States, you're coming to our ideologies of freedom, liberty, justice, equality. You know, that's why I have an issue with groups like Black Lives Matter. You're disrespecting those that fought for the civil rights. The ideologies and philosophies of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Go educate yourselves. If you got that education in college, you need to drop the fuck out and find another college, because that's not college. That's not history. That's just brainwashing. Well, I'm guessing either my Uber conference didn't work or nobody's interested, which is cool. We all know how I am. I started streaming 17 minutes ago? I don't think so. There we go. But you guys know, we need to really start thinking, why is some of this stuff coming about? Why are these things being pushed? And I think you guys are going to have to start searching to find the answers, because we shouldn't be divided like this. I mean, I've seen worse. And this election cycle was just bullshit. I've never seen so much hate come out of an election cycle. I mean, yeah, there's usually some after the election, but not going on this long. And you know, you guys, I don't get why you're biting into this system that's teaching you this. Where are you being taught this? Honestly. Well, I kind of know, but nobody wants to hear that one. I mean, I took it to, shared it with a few other reporters and stuff. Nobody wants to even touch it. The cold hard facts are, though, a lot of this is homegrown. A lot of this is from people that's been converted to radical Islam in the prison system. People that they knew was going to get out, be role model citizens in the public eye, integrating them into systems like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and other organizations to start causing the chaos and the division. I think if we start seriously looking into these recent organizations that have been causing trouble, causing division, even in some of the political systems, we're going to start finding it. I don't know who it was on Twitter, but they posted an awesome meme. Bunch of NASCAR drivers. Our congressmen need to wear driver uniforms like this so we know who's paying them and supporting them. That's one of our other biggest problems in this country here in the United States. We still allow lobbyists to go in there and lobby. There should be a ban on lobbyists. If you get caught even talking to a lobbyist, you should lose your position. because that's part of the corporate thing again. That's not we the people for the people. That's corporate for corporate and for the rich. That give man fuck about you and me who's barely struggling to barely get by. Start holding our politicians accountable. For all those politicians that want to support Sharia law in school systems, every politician shouldn't be bitching about what Trump's doing. They should be bitching about what's going on in fucking California. Sharia law being taught in the school system is violating our very Constitution, which our Congress is responsible for. It's time that most of you go back, restudy your Constitution, do your rights, Bill of Rights, restudy the civil rights, the civil rights history, feminist parts of history where they fought for equality. Because I tell you what, you can't be a feminist and want Sharia law in this country. You can't be a feminist and not support a travel ban that blocks these people, where these people are subjugated, oppressed, and put into submission. If they don't submit, they're stoned, beheaded. Genital mutilation. I'm sorry, you just can't. The same way with the LGBT community. I've seen post after post how they're support and want to support allowing the refugees to come in, and you guys just don't care. I mean, you're just a bunch of hypocrites. That's what you are. When you say those things and act those things and protest for those things, you're saying you approve of what's happening in these countries where these travel bans are supposed to be in place. You're all for being homosexual and being killed for it. That don't make sense. I mean, I can't see the common sense there. And that's the other reason I've removed a bunch of people. You're not the same person I knew that I stood beside and supported those very same to help get equality and rights for those causes. You're just spitting in that cause's face, diminishing it, and I think that's what they want. Why? Because what's it do? Well, now you're causing division there. You're causing divisions among feminists. Starting to see the picture here? They're manipulating you into causing divisions within the communities that you're supporting and standing up for. Because I know for a fact there's some awesome Muslims that practice Islam here in the United States that aren't about hate. They fled that so they could be open. Work, be free, not have to be subject so a woman can go drive. There are some here that believe in our way of life. Folk too busy focusing on the bad apples. So unfortunately, that one group has a bunch of bad apples because they've committed genocide on their own kind. Stop electing politicians that support terrorism, that defend them, like London Mayor. I mean, he couldn't even answer the question. If you knew they were about him, why didn't you do anything? Excuse. If you knew, they shouldn't have been in your country. They should have been in jail, behind bars, or deported back to where they came from. But, like I said, they're finding new ways to cause division. Oh, I find your United States flag offensive, so you can't fly it in the United States at a school or at a business. The next thing they're going to say, we can't fly it in our courthouses or in our government or in Washington. because it's offensive. Well, guess what? If it's offensive, fuck you, go back to your country. You know? There's some great causes out there still worth fighting for and standing up to. But, before we can do anything, we got to take back our own country. We got to put an end to these corrupt politicians allowing the stupid shit to happen. And any state should there be Sharia law taught in our school system. In fact, no form of religion should be taught in our school system. You want your kid to learn a religion? Take them to church or teach them yourself. Or if you're going to teach one, you teach them all. And you make sure all of them are equally taught. But mind you, Sharia law is not a religion. I personally am against it. We need to bring back the Pledge of Allegiance in our schools. One thing I was for, it touches on that ground there, bring prayer back. But don't discriminate. Just set 5 minutes, 10 minutes aside for it. And do the Pledge of Allegiance. Because, like I said, you're coming to this country, you're coming for it because you want your freedoms, you want your rights, you want your liberties, you want to be treated equal. And for all this, all you guys that just want to keep pushing these divisions, you need to wake up quick before something happens and everybody loses it. Because then the system won. Then whoever set all this crap in motion, because it's just not here, it's all over, they've won. Rethink about your banking system, your cryptocurrencies. Why are they in place? Why are we starting to go more electronic? Questions to be asking ourselves. How can we better our communities? As I've learned over the years, if you got a message, go out and do some community work. Get to know the community. Let them get to know you through your actions and deeds. Best way to spread your message. Lead by example. Get on YouTube. Start doing videos. Don't even bother monetizing because you're speaking your opinions. And more likely it's going to be going against what they want you to see fit saying anyway. So just don't monetize them. Talk. Do them. Spread the word. Be good examples. Be good stewards and role models. Because, look, let's face the facts. Let's look at the NFL. The 49ers ex-quarterback. I found what he was doing disrespectful. But I respected the fact that he was also doing what he thought was right, what he believed the Constitution gave him the freedoms to do. So I respected that. But now he's paying the price. The team wants him. Why? Because the crowd, people didn't like what he was doing. Respectful. He was disrespecting every soldier that's fought and bled for this country. He was disrespecting our Constitution. But then again, he wasn't. He was using the Constitution to spread his message. Which that part you have to respect. But with everything you do, there's consequences. Now he's reaping those consequences. Nobody wants him. I think we need to step aside and kind of refocus ourselves. Find different ways to approach things. And start demanding that groups like Antifa Black Lives Matter, when they go out there and do this stuff. Because here's what I don't hear. Anybody seen the video yet of that mentally disabled black kid being sucker punched in the face by another black kid with other black kids and friends laughing as they filmed it? There's nothing funny about that. But yet, oh, I'm talking about that. That's where I'm racist. Like I said, if you want to start calling racism, well, you're being racist against your own kind, because there's more black on black crime than there is any other type. And it shouldn't be. You know, and I know too many good black people out there that are trying to better their communities, trying, and so that they can get out of that system that they get caught up in. And these people should be the ambassadors and stewards that you're supporting, not BLM. I mean, this shit's getting old. You know? And a part of me thinks that's what you guys want. You guys want all chaos. You want anarchy. Not either. It was FTW, FTP, stick it to the man, stick it to the system. Some of us did. In nonviolent ways. We found ways to do it creatively. Not destructively. We found ways to creatively get our messages heard. Did what? You guys? I don't know what school of hard knocks taught you, but all you're doing is actually segregating yourself. You're turning the good people against you, because there is issues. We still got some equality issues, I know. But it ain't as bad as you keep saying. We've come a long way. And all you're doing is taking all that shit we've achieved over these years, basically telling people you fought for nothing. So, wake up, open your eyes, and don't get caught in something stupid. Safe out there this weekend. When you guys go do that Sharia law protest, I'm all for it. We need to take a stand against it, be heard, but watch yourselves. Don't let yourselves get caught in situations with Antifa, and you know you're going to have the other groups out there. You know, we should be demanding that the shit born that spread all that hate, told people to go do these acts, be arrested and charged with terrorist act as a terrorist. We need that school board in San Diego to be removed and the school charged. That's wrong that has supported that and hasn't removed it. And to the parents out there, if that school system don't, remove your kids from it, homeschool them, or find a different school district. Because school needs funding. Stop funding them. You guys, like I said, be safe, have fun, and just don't get caught up in the bait game. They're just trying to bait you into doing something stupid. Because it's going to be one of us that get baited or get punched and go to defend ourselves. And we're going to be made an example of, and they're going to walk. I mean, we already seen what CNN and ABC love to do with fake media, staging shit. They're just waiting for it to happen so they can say, see, this is the reason. Don't be that victim. Your heads. And to our law enforcement out there, your job. Remember the oaths you took. Protect the true patriots of this country. Protect those that are out there doing the right thing. It's your duty and your job. Start speaking up as well. Because your voices will carry more than ours. You hold that office of power and trust. Speaking up, believe me, more people will follow and support you and back you. In a sense, it's got to start with you guys. We're doing it every day, either through broadcast or going out there peacefully protesting. Now we need you guys in our law enforcement and the alphabet community to step up and do the right thing. Just equal justice. Demand that our constitutional rights are upheld. And those that are opposing it by violence and hate, hold them accountable. I know. I wish you guys the best. I may see some of you this weekend. But just be safe and know that there's still people out there fighting for our liberties, our freedoms, and speaking out against the things we're seeing. And we're not going to stop. Wish you all good night. And I'm out.